Hello, Avid and I are going to be working on a few tricks today. I use tricks to help my dog have more behaviors that I can then redirect their focus if they get distracted, and then give them something to do if they get excited, either from people coming into the house or we're out on walks. There are times when I'm going to be very serious about my training with the come when called and the leave it and the stay. But the tricks should be fun, and it also gives my dog more skills, and it teaches them how to learn new and improved behaviors, and then also things that I can use in case they do get distracted while we're out on walks. So I'll just show you some easy tricks that you can teach your dog or puppy and just kind of go from there. So what I start with is you just have some treats handy, and I just start with a simple spin, which is I take a treat in front of my dog's nose and I give them a little food lure to follow, and I just want my dog to follow their nose towards their tail. And once my dog understands that, I hopefully won't need the food in my hand, and I can just give the cue for that to spin around. That's nice because it also helps with muscle balance, development and coordination, body awareness too for young puppies. So it's just a spin. I've actually taught my dogs a left, left, come here, left, good girl, and a Avid, right. So she knows how to spin each direction. It's to her left and to her right. Good girl. Right? Good job. Then we start with skills our dog already has. So I'm going to ask her for a sit, and then I'm just going to encourage her to sit pretty. And then this is actually strengthening her hindquarters and her quads. Sit. Good girl. Good. So it's just a little sit pretty from a sit. Then from a down, I'm just going to encourage her to crawl. And so I'm just going to inch the treats forward, keeping my hand close to the floor to encourage Avid to crawl forward. Right? Just another easy little trick, but it's hard for their rear end to be able to do this. Good girl. From our stand, I'm just going to ask her to bow, which means she's just lowering the front end, keeping her rear end up. And that's a hamstring stretch. Bow. Good girl. Good. Okay. And then I have them stand out of it. Bow sounds like down, so if your dog starts to lie down, you can just support them under their tummy a little bit. Bow. So they get the point that we want them to stay up with the rear end and stretch those hamstrings. Good girl. You can also teach a shake hands. If you've never done this before, I start from a sit, and I just pick my dog's paw up at the wrist where it bends. Sit. I'm going to pretend you don't know this. So I pick it up where it bends, and then just pair it with a treat. And you do that over and over so the dog starts to anticipate when you tap the back of their wrist, they pick up their paw, and then you can reward. Avid's actually learned this trick as diagonals. Sit, sit, shake, good girl. Shake, good job. Very good. Then another skill that we can practice, if you have a dog that really likes, is comfortable lying down. I ask my dog for their down, and I'm going to take some treats and just put it behind her ears a little bit. You can get a little bit of a play dead. And then if I bring the treats behind her ears a little more, she'll roll all the way over. And then I can just bring the treats behind her ear and have her just follow a little food lure, and I can just tell her to roll over. Good girl. Take it behind her head, roll over, and you can lure it, and then just ask for the roll the other way. Roll over, good girl. Good. Now I also want a trick that will help strengthen some of my other skills that are important to me with my dog. So we start out with what we call hand targeting, and hand targeting is just having her put her nose, touch her nose to my hand. So she thinks I'm going to feed her, so I'm going to drop a treat in the hand that she touched, and then when I can predict it would happen, I'll tell her touch, and then reward afterwards. So I'm going to ask Avid to touch. Good girl. Now you might wonder what the point of the hand targeting is, and it's to get my dog to tune in, move close, stay next to me, and then I'm going to actually challenge it by having her improve her recall. So we'll ask Abbott to touch, because she's in nice and close. Touch. Now, I'm going to tell her that she can have this treat. I'm going to tell her to go get it, and I want her to chase the cookie and eat it, and then I can practice my come when called with the nose touch to my hand. So I'll tell her, go get it. Abbott, touch. Good girl. I'll send her away. Go get it. Abbott, touch. Good. So I'm making the recall a game. And you can do this with your dog's breakfast in the kitchen in the morning. Send them away to get a kibble. Get it. Abbott, come. Touch. Good. So I'm reinforcing. I've already taught the end behavior, which is come to me and touch your nose to my hand. Right? And then I can teach it as a trick, where I'm sending my dog away and then calling them to come back to me and touch their nose to my hand. So I'll send her away. Get it. Abbott, come touch. Yay. And we play this game a lot. It's also a great way to burn some energy off a very active puppy or a dog while strengthening your recall. So if you have a yard, you can practice in the yard, but also practice inside your house too. Good job. Good job.